As a fan would say, well, you know, both teams are playing on the same field, so it's a level playing field. It's not. The Yankees play 81 games here. How many left-hand hitters have come to Yankee Stadium, played for the Yankees, and thrived? They've got 81 games to take BP and work on what pitches they can handle in batting practice that they can pull over that short right field porch. Opposing hitters come in here, say Aduda, a power hitter, hit 30 home runs last year. He might get out of his game. Hey, I'm only in here for 3 games. I got to get the ball inside and try to pull it. And then they wind up trying to pull an outside pitch and rolling it over, ground ball to second base. So you got to go up the middle, stay with your game, trust the quickness of your hands. If the ball's inside, you'll pull it.
Well, Matt Harvey will try and keep the powerful Yankees in the ballpark today. So-so start his last time out. He was under the weather, a little bit of an ankle problem.
I thought his last 2 starts, Gary, when you look at him, have not been vintage Harvey. But we're in a great position here. This is the kind of start he lives for. You talked about it last night. He's a former Yankee fan, pitching in the Bronx, pitching against the Yankees. I expect him, because he's Matt Harvey, to turn it up a notch in this afternoon's game.
On the other side, CC Sabathia, formerly a dominant pitcher, learning how to be a finesse pitcher.
That's right. 24-9 in interleague play, 12-3 as a Yankee. All that doesn't matter. The thing that matters, though, is coming off a real strong start that he had a complete game, even though it was a loss in Detroit.
So the Mets will try and get even this afternoon against the Yankees here in the Bronx, with Matt Harvey taking the hill. Mets and Yankees from the Bronx, all the action on SNY. City. Learn about City perks at Mets.com/City. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com for a free rate quote. By Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop for untouchable values at the touch of a button at mybobs.com. By Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, starring Kevin James, now playing. And by Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live on demand in true HD. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Visit MLB.tv for details. Today's Twisted But True Fact is brought to you by Twisted Tea, the hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. It's been a year and a day since CC Sabathia's last victory. He's only made 6 starts since then. Knee surgery last year. 0-3 so far this year. He tries to get that turned around against the Mets and Matt Harvey this afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Mets and Yankees, first pitch is coming right up from the Bronx. Anders slots into the 2-hole. Rest of the lineup stays the same as it was last night when the Mets managed just a run and 5 hits. They go up against the lefty CC Sabathia. His first pitch to Curtis Granderson is outside and low, and we're underway. Granderson 2 for 4 last night, facing Sabathia, making his 4th start of the year.
I said before, they're coming off a good start, a complete game loss to the Tigers. See his numbers so far. No wins for the big man.
Granderson, over the last 4 games, 6 hits and 13 at bats, so they're starting to fall for him. Thought it was notable last night that Granderson drove the ball to left center. And that's not the first time he's had a hit the other way, but the temptation of this ballpark, as we were talking about earlier with Keith, you'd think for Granderson he'd be looking to yank, but he didn't.
Particularly after his series last year where he hit 2 home runs in 2 days. So good discipline, Garrett.
It's fascinating to me how he's remade himself as a hitter early this season.
He really has, getting those walks. But it's not only that he hit the ball to left field. He hit it on the nose that it split the outfielders for a double. Maybe a triple if they weren't losing by 5 runs at the time.
He's already had 5 hits this year to left and left center. He only had 15 all of last season. 2-2 from Sabathia, and the curveball in there, strike 3 call. Granderson caught looking for the first out of the day.
Well, all the fastballs, and then drops a hammer on him. Up, but on the outside corner, and freezes Curtis.
Keith and Gary, you were watching this game yesterday. If you're CC Sabathia, what do you throw against net hitters? Steady diet of breaking balls.
So here's Mayberry getting his 4th start, all against the lefties. 3 for 9 with a home run against left-hand pitching so far. Getting the start in left field today after Kirk Neuenhuis played left field last night. Michael Kadire DHing again today.
Well, the Mets beat the Yankees twice in spring training, and they pounded Sabathia at the game in St. Lucie. But this is the real deal here. This is where it counts.
He had 3 home runs in that game against Sabathia. First time they faced him in a regular season game since 2012. Last year was pretty much a lost year for CC. He had knee surgery that cost him most of the year. Now in the 7th year in a Yankee uniform, signed an 8-year, $182 million contract after pitching most of his career in Cleveland and a brief stint in Milwaukee. Mayberry lifts one to left center, and Brett Gardner, looking through the sunglasses, reels it in for the second out.
All right, we'll take a quick look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by Coors Light. Only change in the outfield, Chris Young. That's his 6th start in right field. Off to a terrific start offensively. In the infield, basically the same. The Yankees have been playing well. Why change it? Same infield, same battery. McCann, of course, the former Brave, behind the plate.
It's been quite a transformation, changing boroughs for Chris Young. A lost few months in Queens, came here in September, had a nice stretch drive for the Yankees and a good start as well to 2015. Here's Lucas Duda, 0 for 3 last night, drove in the Mets' only run with a sac fly and takes a slider for a strike.
Breaking pitch of Sabathia early looks very good.
Duda off to a good start, particularly against the lefties. 7 for 15 against left-hand pitching. So a real transformation for Lucas on that front. He drives one deep to right. Back goes Young, looking up, and it's out of here. Lucas Duda with a line drive home run, his 2nd of the year, and the Mets jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Try 8 for 16 now, Gary.
First home run against a lefty this season for Duda.
2nd of the year. And what'd you say about those lefties, Ron?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they only had 1 home run against lefties all last season.
Wants to come inside. Sorry, Gary. Inside, too much plate and down in the wheelhouse. And Gary, we're talking about in the open about pulling the ball, and they trust the quickness of your hands. Nicely done, Lucas.
Taking advantage of the tight dimensions to give the Mets the quick lead. Now Michael Kadire lofts one to left field. This one's playable for Gardner. And he makes the catch to retire the side, but the Mets get off to the good start. 2 out and nobody on, and Lucas Duda explodes one. 2nd home run of the year for Duda, and the Mets hand Matt Harvey a 1-0 lead. One change. Chris Young plays right field in place of Carlos Beltran. Otherwise the same unit Joe Girardi ran out there last night. Yankees first in the American League in home runs, second in runs scored, and that's the task for Matt Harvey today.
Well, when you're the best in the game, or one of the best in the game, you're going to face the best in the game. This is his 5th Cy Young he's faced in his career. Lincecum, Halladay, Cliff Lee, Scherzer, and Sabathia today.
Jacoby Ellsbury swinging at the first one, hits it deep to left center. Lagares had a slow start after it, but catches up in plenty of time for a long first down.
I'm going to run through this defense because we got to take another look at this catch because something was beautiful. And this defense, the Met defense, brought to you by Lexus. Mayberry, of course, with the left-hander, gets the start in left. Daniel Murphy, I believe he's shaved the beard. I wonder why at second base. Plawecki begin behind the plate. There he is.
Cleaning things up. Here's Brett Gardner, 2 hits last night, hitting a .304 for the year. And here's Lagares.
Oh, look at him! How the glove. He's got it all together. Watch. Look at the shadow on his face. Covered his eyes. Sunglasses on.
Popped up. Campbell over for a look, but beyond his reach. He finished well, Lagares did, but there was a point at which I think he had trouble picking that ball up.
Yes, that's when he put the glove up.
Straight over his head, too. Yep. That ball right at you, a line drive, humpback line drive is the hardest one for the center fielder.
It is a bright sunny day, and shadows are going to be a big factor today for the hitters. Shadow of the grandstand almost reaching home plate now.
Harvey's throwing hard, 96 miles an hour on that fastball. But you know what? So was DeGrom yesterday. He was throwing hard. Gonna have to mix it up. You get ahead of these Yankee hitters, bounce a couple. A-Rod on deck. See if they'll be fishing.
Second time Harvey has ever faced the Yankees. Faced him 2 years ago at Citi Field. But this is the first time he's ever pitched in the big ballpark in the Bronx. And, you know, for a kid who grew up in Connecticut as a big Yankee fan, that's got a very special meaning to it.
Big time.
Two and two to Brett Gardner. And a bouncing ball for Murphy. Gets the easy hop. And that's the second out.
Have you noticed that? Right? 2 change-ups in a row from Harvey. Second one getting Gardner on the ground out.
That's the career of Matt Harvey in April, combining 2013 and this year. Been pretty much unstoppable. Maybe his roughest April start ever his last time out against Miami, when he gave up 4 runs and 8 hits over 6 innings.
It's going to be a pitcher's day, Guerra. Maybe. You never know, but the shadows are starting to creep up on home plate.
Alex Rodriguez 1 for 3 last night, and he takes a rip at a fastball, nothing in 1.
For a myriad of reasons, is there a more riveting confrontation this afternoon than these two?
Well, you got the young rising star on the mound and the disgraced but powerful star at the plate.
Well, it's a good little slide piece.
Yes, it is.
Hasn't been throwing his slider all that much this early season.
You'll use it against A-Rod, certainly. And the fastball in is where you have to pitch A-Rod. You can throw away a couple times, but you got to breeze them inside.
There you go. Good call, Ron.
97 upstairs, 1 and 2.
Alex likes the ball down. The ball upstairs can get him. Ball inside can get him. You know, I'm saying that, and this guy's got 658 home runs. He feasts on everything else. How about that?
Still got to pitch him inside.
Mark Teixeira, who had the big night last night, would be next. Harvey ahead on A-Rod, 1 and 2. He goes away with a slider, 2 and 2.
It's been interesting this entire April. That's the one pitch that's eluded Mr. Harvey. He has not been able to throw his slider for a strike.
Curveball's been a more effective pitch for him. Two coming. Struck him out. Got him with a changeup. First strikeout from Matt Harvey as he disposes of Alex Rodriguez. Harvey gets him 1-2-3 in the opening inning after Duda supplies him with a lead. 1-0 Mets after 1. When the Mets take on the Nationals at 7:10, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Jacob deGrom Garden Gnome, courtesy of Gold's Horseradish. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Super Saturdays.
There you go.
Family.
Mixed family. That's right.
Look at that right there.
Here's the camera.
1-0 Mets. Daniel Murphy leads off in the second against CC Sabathia and takes inside. Interesting, the Mets have 3 left-hand hitters, their first 5 batters in the lineup. Sabathia in his first 3 starts saw a total of 2 left-hand hitters. The Orioles put Chris Davis and Alejandro De Aza against him. The other 2 starts he faced all right-hand batting lineups. Murphy lofts one out to right, and Chris Young is there to grab it one away. And I wonder from CC's standpoint, not facing all that many lefties, how difficult that makes it for him.
Well, I think what it does take away is his changeup. We were talking about that in the break. He won't throw his changeup as much against the lefties, but what happens is that the more lefties you do face, Gary, sometimes you have the ability to get honed in on your breaking ball, as opposed to when you're just all facing righties and you don't throw as many.
Here's Eric Campbell, 1 for 3 last night, a long double to left center. Campbell making his 10th consecutive start, filling in for David Wright, and he's reached base in each of the first 9.
He's done a terrific job. Early on, he drove in some big runs with a couple sacrifice flies. He advances runners.
Well, there's the changeup against the right-hand batter.
You're talking about the left-handers against CC. God, he's only faced, coming into the game, there are 6 at bats.
2 batters.
Yep.
That's it.
0 for 6, the lefties coming in. Duda put an end to that.
Yeah, he did.
Emphatically.
Little Luke.
Little Luke.
I love the.
Have you told him that you're calling him Little Luke?
No, I haven't. I'm sure his parents are. I'm sure his parents have told him.
He's a very big guy to be calling Little Luke.
I say it affectionately.
I know you do. Hit him.
And that one hit Campbell in the foot, and he's aboard. First batter Sabathia has hit this year, and the Mets have a 1-out base run.
Sorry about that, Gary. I said that out loud. I don't know why I said that, but hit by pitch.
You were only providing correct information. That's good. That's what we do here.
You know what? As a pitcher, that's what you're trying to do, is throw a slider that hits the back foot of the hitter.
It's like
you just expect him to take his foot out of it.
Yeah, move your foot.
That's what they call it, a back foot slider. Here's Lagares, who homered against Sabathia in spring training this year. And he takes a strike. Lagares took him deep. Duda took him deep. Wright took him deep in that game in Port St. Lucie back on March 22nd. Lagares had his 10-game hitting streak stopped last night when he went 0 for 4. Dropped to 7th in the order today. Takes a change up for a strike, 0-2.
It's really a nice day today. We're not even we're in our shirt sleeves today, Gary. Hopefully.
It's a lot warmer than it was last night. We got down to 40 degrees by game's end with the wind howling. Toward the hole, and that gets through for a base hit. Campbell pulls in at second, and the Mets have a couple of men on.
I think that Terry, from what he sees, particularly off a left-hander, and maybe solely off a left-hander. Remember Lagares' pinch hit and run, the last homestand towards the end, similar to this. He has that ability. I wouldn't be surprised if Terry hits and runs, starts hitting and running more with Lagares.
Keith, did Teixeira make a mistake here not to break for that ball?
His judgment was he couldn't get it. That was his judgment.
But he had to know that Drew's playing up the middle and had no chance for it, right?
Well, he must have felt he had no chance for it. And you can tell the ball you can get to when you can't.
Here's Wilmer Flores. Flores 1 for 3 last night, riding a 7-game hitting streak. I don't know why you would play Drew up the middle against Lagares, though.
Makes no sense, especially with 2 strikes, because he likes to go that way.
Flores hitting 8th in the order. Kevin Plawecki batting 9th today.
He has really impressed me, Wilmer. He got off to a bad start. Remember, he was on the interstate. He did not fold his tent and go south for the winner. He hung in there, and he's done it. Come around with the bat.
Well, somebody asked asked Terry an interesting question today about Wilmer. You know, he had that series where he made a couple of errors and looked unsure about his throws, and Terry was asked whether his offense might have helped his defense, and Terry said, well, it might be the other way around.
Yeah.
Once his defense tightened up, he could relax at the plate.
Well, and the one that comes to the fore most for the old baseball jargon is a guy that takes his offense out and it affects his defense, not the reverse.
Yeah.
You don't want that label.
2-1 to Flores with 2 on and 1 out. Campbell dancing off second, getting Sabathia's attention, and he falls behind Flores 3-1.
The other thing that works in Wilmer's favor, to me, he's from Venezuela, but he's like California smooth to me. He just always has a smile on his face. When he made those errors, he said, hey, I made a mistake. I had a bad game. I'm going to have a good game tomorrow. Owns up for his mistakes.
3-1 coming. And that's a knee-high strike, 3-2.
Right. I love where Teixeira's playing. That's where I like to play. And Ronnie, you remember,
yes.
Take that hole away from the right-hand hitters that are full hitters. The ball down the line is going to be a double anyway. Take away the hole. Ken Boyer told me you're going to get beat more in the hole than you are down the line.
3-2 with 1 out. Not going, and Flores hits it slowly down to third. Headley will have to go to first with it, and that's the second out as the runners move up.
You know, Keith, I remember the one issue you had when you played so far off the bag. I remember we used to practice in the spring training, the pitchers, because taking a throw from where you used to play was unusual. But also, I remember Howard Johnson had some problems throwing to the base because it was a bang-bang play at first. You would get there at the same time the ball would arrive.
I'll get there before it arrived. It'd be well on its way.
Yeah.
Howard didn't like it. Ray Knight did not like it. Ray got nervous. And I'll elaborate. But what I did was, in spring training, when they were getting ground balls, I would get there and run late. So they would see me, and we worked on it.
Okay.
You know, and it's just a little extra effort for me. And I would always tell them, I would point how far away. I'd go, Ray. And so I'd pull my hands apart. I'm far away from the bag. So you got time on a routine ground ball. Take a curl hop. Take your time.
Plawecki grounds one down to Headley. And Sabathia able to work around trouble in the top of the second. Mets strand a pair in scoring position, lead at 1-0. Presence right around the stadium. For every run the Mets score this weekend against the Yankees, you'll get $1 off each ticket to see the Mets at home April 30th through May 6th against the Nationals and Orioles. Watch the Mets all weekend long and save. So far, save 2%. Log on to Mets.com/runs for more information.
Very good.
Yeah. For you fans that are watching, big night from Teixeira. Let's see how Harvey deals with Teixeira.
Hits it to the lonely side of the diamond. Flores tries to throw, but no chance. Well, that's the risk you run when you play the full shift, and Teixeira has himself an infield hit.
Well,
is that another changeup, Keith?
Yes,
off
it
the end of
was.
the bat?
2 pitches away, Ron, and I just fastball away and then a little changeup away, and I just don't like this overshifting. I really don't. I know all the. Is that a fastball? Just ran away? Not sure. And the Mets are in a big shift here on McCann, who, remember when McCann came up, Gary, of course you remember, and you, Ron, he used left center field all the time. Now, becoming in his aging years, a dead pull hitter.
Well, especially in this ballpark, and that's part of the temptation you were talking about, but they're trying to bunt for a hit against the vacant side of the infield.
I don't like it. It's just, in this case, it's not a bad idea.
Last time McCann had 2 hits. He pulled one, hit the other one up the middle. 23 home runs last year, but he hit just 232. It flies that one.
You know why I love that play? Not only can you get a base hit because you're playing the big shift. You know the frustration part that puts on the pitcher and how angry you get that your guys are in the shift and now you've gotten 2 balls that should be 2 outs and now you're in trouble.
Oh-2 coming to McCann. And he taps one. This could be trouble. Barehands it, plants. It's a terrific play. Well, that's the only chance the Mets had was Harvey coming off the mound with the bare hand, and he gets McCann for the first down.
I will tell you that the Mets starting pitchers are as good as any in baseball at fielding their position. This is about as athletic as you can get for a big man. Barehanded, knew that McCann was running, could take his time, gather himself, pro hop, and throw a bullet.
I tell you what,
beautiful.
He knew also that he was the only guy that could possibly make that play. It gets past him. It's another bleeder.
So Teixeira in scoring position now with 1 out. And here's Chris Young getting a chance to play against the Mets for the first time since they let him go last summer. Young off to a fast start after a fast finish with the Yankees last year, and he takes it high, ball 1. And how do you possibly explain what happened with Chris Young? Played 88 games with the Mets last year, hit .205 with 8 home runs. Last year, 23 games in September with the Yankees, hit .282 with 3 home runs. He's hitting .357 with 4 home runs already this year.
He's always been a pinstripe player. It just depends on the pinstripes.
Toward the middle of the diamond, Flores gets over to play and throws out Young by a stride as Teixeira takes third.
You know, you can just say right now, and there's Flores again with the perfect fundamentals, getting in front, 2 hands. He's not a fancy Dan. Look at this, beautiful. I'd like to see him bend a little more in his legs, but he gets in front and he uses 2 hands
to get his rear end down a little more. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's long-legged. You know, he's got to get your fanny down a little more, but everything else is good.
After he had those throwing problems, Tim Tuffle told him, don't let anybody leave the ballpark without you showing them that you have a strong arm. In other words, don't lollipop it, let it go.
Oh, I like that. Tough. Yep. Very nice. Again, to answer your question without being facetious, Chris Young had some pressure as a Met. He's going to be an everyday player and had to produce. Over here, he's an ancillary player. That makes a difference, you know, for a guy. There's no pressure to have to put up what he did in Arizona with 20+ home runs, 20+ bags. Be a big part of the offense. Here he's
precisely, Ron. And the Yankees have a way. They're like the Oakland Raiders. They pick up the guys that are aging and are the bad guys. But I'm not saying Chris Young is a bad guy. And they performed for the Raiders in those days. There's just something about the pinstripes, I guess. And, you know, really, if you look at it, it's only April. He's had 43 at bats now. He's off to, we can honestly say, he's off to a very hot start.
And he had the good September, too.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
The only problem with your theory, Ronnie, he might not be an ancillary player much longer.
Could be wrong.
He might be playing more and more. 2-1 to Headley with a runner at third, and Harvey blows one by him, and it's 2-2.
Up and away.
Well, you know you have a good fastball when it's a fastball count. You have a big league hitter up there, and you throw the ball right by him. Granted, though, there are the shadows.
Headley has a home run against Harvey in 5 career at bats. Runner at third and 2 out. 2-2 coming. Curveball hit right at Murphy. And Harvey able to work around the scratch hit by Teixeira, gets 3 ground ball outs and plays some terrific defense too. CC Sabathia more complete games than any active pitcher. 3 ahead of Bartolo Colon, with whom he's now tied on the victory list. They each have 208, trailing only Tim Hudson among active pitchers.
Just a tiny little better winning percentage for Sabathia.
There's Granderson, who struck out looking his first time up. It's been a struggle, though, for Sabathia, though, over the last few years. You go back to the 2008 through 2012 seasons. CC was 91-39 with a 3.11 ERA. Just a dominant starting pitcher. The last 3 years, since the start of the 2013 season, 17-20, 4.83.
Well, I hate to say it, Gary, but that's how most pitchers go. There's a 6-year window, 4, 5, 6-year window.
Oh. Still killing by Teixeira for the first out.
Where you blow people away, and then most pitchers are scuffling after that. The reason being you lose a little off of what you had before as you see Teixeira in the sun. Maybe it had something to do with the snow cone. CC didn't have to get over there.
CC didn't like the pitch. He hung a breaking ball.
You lose a little bit off your stuff, and then you have to make an adjustment. Some do, and some don't.
And what's the most important thing? The contrast between the guys who can adjust and the guys who can't.
The guys who are able to rid themselves of the macho of who they used to be. CC Sabathia was a guy that he just came after you. He was like a charging bull, and he would just, with his sheer willpower, beat you up within a game. And that is part of what made him so great. Now, what's going to make him great if he's able to make the recovery? He's going to have to get rid of that macho and say to himself, you know, when push comes to shove, I'm going to have to go soft rather than hard. Good cutter there, though.
Fish, bad pitch inside.
Head on Mayberry, 0-2. John flying to left his first time up. Tries the same pitch again and he lays off 1-2.
To me, it was later in your career, you give up hits to players that would just make you want to throw up on the mound because you just couldn't believe you gave up a hit to certain guys who just weren't good hitters. But you weren't a good pitcher anymore.
Broken bat liner. Gregorius soaring to get it. Perfect timing by Didi Gregorius for the second out.
He elevated here on this one.
He was really playing him to pull too, wasn't he, Keith?
Yep, that's a nice play. Good anticipation.
You know, he's a fantastic athlete.
Hang with him. The Yankees have been playing a little defense, a little leather out here in today's game so far.
So 2 out now. Duda, who's accounted for the only run of this game with a home run into the seats in right field, his second of the year. And Sabathia comes in tight with a fastball in the corner. Duda now 8 for 16 against lefties, including that home run. Slider off the plate, 1-1. Taking you deep once, how do you change the game plan against Duda?
Well, you saw it right there with the breaking pitch. I think that when a guy takes you deep on an inside pitch, I think you have to come back in there. Just make sure it's off the plate. Then try to get him away soft away.
That one caught a big chunk of McCann.
That was a big hanger, too.
He had another good cut at that ball.
Watch this one just stay up there. Oh, just under it. Could have hit that one. I'd have hit it a country mile.
Lucas trying to go for a Delgado game if he would have hit that out of here. Remember
the 9 RBI game?
There was a great interview with Kevin afterwards too.
Oh, you never let that go, have you? 1-2 from Sabathia, and he just missed outside with a fastball. Just a little cutter, 2-2. Michael Kadire would be next. Last night it was the Yankees hitting 3 home runs off Jacob deGrom early. That's with the early counter tonight.
This is what Lucas has been doing so much better this year. And I know you fans out there that are watching have noticed. I hope you're paying attention out there. He's fighting off a lot of tough pitches, staying in the at bat. He's doing it real well this year.
Strikes him out with a breaking ball. Second strikeout for Sabathia, and he has his first 1-2-3 inning. While the big guys play inside, the little leaguers practicing outside. High step. 1-0 Mets in the third. third inning is presented by your local tri-state Audi dealers and the uncompromised Audi A3 sedan. Stephen Drew leads off the home third inning, whacks the first one at deep right center. That one heads toward the wall, and it's off the fence. Lagares playing the carom, and Drew pulls into second base with a leadoff double. And the Yankees, who've been in attack mode since the first inning yesterday, again go after the first pitch, and it pays off for Drew.
Fastball down and down the middle. Almost a home run.
Well, it's interesting. They're very patient on first pitches against DeGrom yesterday. So aggressive today. No called strikes for Matt Harvey in this game so far.
He's faced 8 batters, thrown only 24 pitches. That's the second Yankee hit. Now the number 9 hitter Gregorius, who showed off the leather a moment ago. Let's see how the Yankees play this.
Got to watch out for the bunt here.
Gregorius 1 for 4 last night. Let's play the corners in, and he does drop down the bunt. Plawecki is going to have to go to first with a play covering, and everybody's safe. Now Daniel Murphy's mental mistakes in the field continue to cost the Mets. That's the third in 3 days. He threw home when he should have tried to get a double play 2 days ago. Tried to tag a runner and made an error yesterday, and this time forgot to cover first base on a bunt.
Well, there's no excuse for this.
I mean,
this is unbelievable. This is 3 for 3 now.
I mean, if I know it as a former pitcher that the guy is going to bunt, you have to know as the second baseman. He was moving there. He just didn't hustle over there.
Well, Daniel hustles. You just don't know what was going through his mind. My goodness.
Maybe he thought Duda was going to get, but no, you just got to get there. The umpire got there too.
No. He had nothing to do with it.
He was half stepping it.
Yeah.
He didn't sprint. They give Gregorius credit for a hit. Jacoby Ellsbury up first and third, nobody out. Chops one to Murphy. A run will score. Flores quickly to first, and they turn the double play. As Drew comes home with the tying run, it's now a 1-1 game.
Well, Keith, back to your Tim Tuffle comment. How about the throw by Wilmer Flores on that double play? Well, some smoke going over there.
Here's the double play Taylor made. And he's got a cannon. And just want to I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm absolutely flabbergasted at the plays that Murphy's made the last 3 days.
Well, that one cost them a run. No RBI for Ellsbury. 2 out and nobody on, and Gardner takes one at his feet for ball 1. Gardner grounded out to Murphy his first time up. And thinks about a bunt with Campbell playing back. 2-0. We were talking before about Wilmer Flores and how guys take hitting problems into the field or bring fielding problems to the plate. What about Murph? I mean, do you think that this spate of mental mistakes has anything to do with the fact that he hasn't been hitting?
I think guys that are all about their hitting, and Murphy's in that camp. I'm not saying he doesn't want to play defense and play it at a high level, but I played with guys my entire career where hitting is the most important. Sometimes the rest of the game and defense, base running, whatever, comes secondary to getting base hits, and he's not getting base hits yet.
Harvey behind on Gardner, 3-1 with A-Rod on deck. And throws a curveball for a strike, 3-2.
Normally when Murph makes mistakes and makes bad plays, it's usually poor judgment and trying to be a part of a play he shouldn't have to be. This one is unique because he just fell asleep at the switch.
Inside ball 4. That's only the second walk that Matt Harvey has issued this season. A 2-out walk to Gardner ahead of A-Rod. 2 walks and 25 strikeouts for Harvey over his first 21 innings this season. So here's Rodriguez, who struck out his first time up.
We spent the beginning part of the day talking about taking advantage of the right field. We didn't talk about it with the right-handed hitters. I think right-handed hitters don't do it enough.
Derek Jeter did.
Yes, he did.
Looks like A-Rod is trying to shorten up on his swing, a little defensive off Harvey, the hard thrower. Interesting on that out pitch away where he likes it. Did not have a real authoritative swing.
Pitcher in the sun, shadows are a big part of the game right now.
When the sun is a little muted the way it is right now, is it as big a factor as if the sun is at full blast?
Full blast, that's where it's more effective. When it's muted, everything kind of stays the same, Garrett.
You know,
don't mind this right now.
Have some high clouds, so there's a little bit of sun, but not full strength. Milwaukee knocks down that breaking ball in the dirt. Ball and a strike.
See what he's got there, Keith. I call it the oven mitt, but it's the mitt that the players use now. Who slide head first.
Yep.
That takes the thumb out of play.
You're exactly.
It really does look like an oven mitt, doesn't it?
Jeez. You're baking.
Casserole.
Watch out for the crock pot.
1-1 from Harvey. And Harvey stumbles to the grab and makes the play. Side retired. Not as elegant as his last play, but Matt stays with it. Manages to smile about it. Well, Murphy's mental mistake costs Harvey a run, but he avoids further damage by making the play on A-Rod. 1-1 game. CC Sabathia. Dyer flied out to left his first time up. Where are we? Shea Stadium? Well, what is that?
I know the planes. They come from LaGuardia, right over Yankee Stadium here.
That's when they take off. Oh, that's right.
Keith, when they come over the booth, you have to stop talking like you stopped hitting.
I had to learn to deal with it. I'll let you take over.
Okay.
You couldn't step out now. Now they make you stay on the batter's
That's
box.
true.
Planes or no planes. Sabathia behind on Kadire, 2-0. Murphy on deck. And Kadire swings over that one, 2-1.
It's interesting to watch CC. He's using a lot of two-seamers. Ball dipping in the strike zone.
Kadire now 0 for his last 15 after flying out his first time up. DHing for the second straight day. Let's face a right-hander tomorrow night in Nate Eovaldi, so we'll see whether Kadire goes back in the field or Nieuwenhuis gets another start. And he lines one into center field for a base hit, so that snaps that 0 for 15. Kadire with a leadoff hit to start the Mets in the fourth.
He had some good swings in his first at bat, Keith.
Well, this is right down the pipe, and it's nice and level. You don't try to hit home runs, Gary, Ron, when you're not feeling good at the plate. You're a little off. You get up the middle mode, and then when you find your groove, then you can start picking your spots to whale.
Now Murphy, will see if he can find himself some redemption. Flied out his first time up. Go ahead run at first and nobody out. Murph just 9 for 58 to begin the year. It's a territory he's not familiar with. Hitting just 155. Each team with a run on 3 hits. Right there for a strike, and it's 0-2.
The problem with a guy like Murph is that he doesn't walk a lot. So when he gets behind the 8 ball and he doesn't get his hits, he's trying to throw 3 out there per day as opposed to just, get a knock, see what happens in the next at bat.
You see his career numbers. 155 average, came into the day with a 234 on base percentage. Could be 2 if they hurry. Drew to Gregorius, and that's all they'll get.
Good slide. Kadire is one of the best I've seen in a long time. Well, fairly long time. Breaking up a double play. He's excellent with it.
The entire league knows about Michael Kadire, and this is why Gregorius with the jump wasn't even going to think of getting rid of it. Kadire will knock your block off if you stay in there.
He does for the Mets what Chase Utley does for the Phillies. He's just not going to give any inch. So Murphy now at first with 1 out. Here's Campbell, who was hit on the foot by a pitch his first time up. Goes after that first pitch changeup.
Interesting crowd, a little more anxious than it was last night. It was kind of a prize fight crowd.
Campbell hits one well to left center field. Deep in the gap goes Ellsbury, and he makes a terrific play. Ellsbury going a long way and makes the sliding catch on the warning track for a very long second out.
399 out in that gap, and this is a home run at Citi Field. And he runs a long way for it, and this is a run-saving catch right there. What a play.
Campbell had a double in last night's game off the wall over the head of Gardner, but hit it to the wrong man today. Ellsbury with that great speed.
Well, left field used to be a lot deeper back in the day, and you got a shift on really playing Lagares for the pull, leaving him that hole.
It's hard to understand. Takes a home run cut on the first pitch. Lagares poked one through the right side his first time up.
They said that the World Series is that the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Yankees played, that the advantage for the Yankees was that the Dodgers had all the right-hand pull hitters, and there was such a disadvantage for them to play in Yankee Stadium.
Ebbets Field, of course, was fairly tight to every field, whereas Yankee Stadium
was cavernous,
short to right and huge to left.
We're old, but we're not old enough. We missed all those ballparks. Well, I did anyway.
Well, Lagares got a base hit behind in the count 0-2 his last time up. Tries to slash one the other way and fouls it off.
Polo Grounds, you go over the McCombs Bridge out of here. How far on the west side do you have to go?
It's 155th Street.
I just drove right by it today.
Okay.
It's right across the river.
It's when you come over, the driver took me today.
Yeah.
Up the west side, I came across, The McCombs Bridge?
Yeah.
He's pointing, goes right over there. Right before the bridge is where.
If you look at an aerial shot, they look like they're right next to each other with the river just between them.
Coogan's Bluff.
Center field, another chance for Ellsbury deep in the other gap, and it's beyond him and up against the wall. Murphy around third, heads for the plate. Lagares steaming for third. He's got himself an RBI triple, and the Mets have a 2-1 lead. Each at bat, Lagares has been behind 0-2. He poked one through the right side his first time and drives this one.
Oh, little lazy breaking ball. Wanted it inside, down and over the inner half. And with 2 outs, you're on the get-go. You're running. It's like Super Mario running around those bases. Look at Lagares. Gallop.
First triple of the year for Lagares. He had 3 last year. So the Mets lead 2-1. Now Flores takes a strike. So a big 2-out hit for Lagares, who took an 0 for last night, but has bounced back in a big way already today.
Big RBI out there. These 2-out RBIs. Another big run to drive in.
Flores grounded out his first time up.
You know, they always talk about the exit velocity off a bat, but really, Campbell's balls hit true, so it stayed true and allowed Ellsbury to catch it. Lagares' ball had that left to right working on it, so it always worked its way away from Ellsbury.
So when you got good exit velocity, folks, you know what it means? It means you hit the dog out of it.
Thank you. Very good.
Is that a scientific term? Dog out of it. That's like Excella canine.
Yeah, there's some sabermetric guy on Google right now trying to find that out.
Lagares at third, 1-2 coming to Flores, and he tries to go the other way and fouls it off.
Either way you slice it, nice at bat by Juan Lagares.
And he did slice it.
He did.
Well, this inning would have been a lot worse for Sabathia had Ellsbury not made that great catch on Campbell. As it is, the Mets regaining the lead a half inning after the Yankees tied it. And Flores hits it into shallow center. That's in for a base hit, and Lagares scores. Big 2-out hits by the 7 and 8 hitters, both behind in the count, and the Mets now lead 3-1.
Again, wanting to come inside. You see McCann, and he gets it there. Not enough. Up. I mean, you got to pitch Flores up. He could drop the hammer on you down and pitch down. But again, good 2-strike hitting from the Mets. They're doing it without the long ball.
The Mets have been hitless in their last 13 at bats with 2 outs and runners in scoring position before that knock by Flores. Here's Plawecki with a runner at first and 2 out. And Kevin fouls back the fastball. Sabathia's throwing nothing but strikes.
Yeah. The biggest difference I see from the Mets offense last year to this year is that they can group hits together because 2 strikes they put the ball in play. Last year they had a strikeout every other hitter, so you could never get into that kind of roll.
Reminds me of the great line in that Young Frankenstein when the Chiefs came in throwing the darts, and Gene Wilder goes, "Good grouping."
All right, Igor.
2-1 to Plawecki, who grounded out his first time. Well, Sabathia turned in a very good outing against the Tigers his last time out, hoping that would get things pointed in the right direction for him. 8 innings, complete game loss, gave up just 2 runs, but gave up the home run in the first inning today, and a couple of big 2-out hits in the 4th inning to put the Mets up 3-1. That's driven deep to left field, hit it back toward the wall. It's out of here. Kevin Plawecki with his first major league home run, a 2-run shot. The Mets have put 4 runs on the board in the 4th inning, and they lead it 5-1. first home run, first 2 big league RBIs for Kevin Plawecki.
Well, there's nothing like a big league bench when a young man comes up and hits his first home run.
Well, in a game of this importance, a crosstown rivalry, this is a game the Mets want to come back and win. It's a long way to go. It's up to Harvey now to shut the door. They've given him a 4-run lead.
And that was a bullet off the bat of Plawecki.
2-iron.
Mets have hit 2 home runs in this game, and they've both been line drives.
Well, Sabathia's been getting the ball up, Ronnie. And this ball, oh, geez, right down the pipe, belt high.
Covered.
And you know what? See the level swing? You don't have to swing up, kids, to hit home runs.
Granderson is 0 for 2, struck out and lined out, and Curtis grounds one down to Teixeira. Sabathia late covering, and Granderson beats him to the bag. You know, I think Teixeira could have taken that himself, but he waited for Sabathia, and Sabathia just wasn't going to get there. It's a base hit for Granderson.
It's all about good hustle. Granderson gets himself a base hit. Let's see Sabathia.
This is the home run.
Oh, it's the home run. I'm sorry. Well, that's a shot. That's a shot. Late getting to the bag, and that is a no-no. And that is just good hustle by Granderson.
I do have to say, though, in agreeing with you, Gary, is that anytime you got the big guy on the mound, you have to assume that he's not going to get there, so you should take it yourself if you can.
I mean, any older pitcher, any slower pitcher, but particularly with a lefty who's going to fall off to the third base side.
Totally agree. But he pauses. No, right off the bat, so he did everything you're supposed to do.
He just can't get there.
He's just a big man.
Lumbering. It's like Andre the Giant going out to cover first. So, a real quick point. I always, if I can get to the bag, I don't care if it was a David Cohn or Sid.
Mayberry hooks one foul.
I always, if I can get to the bag, I would go do it myself, because I want a pitcher to be able to conserve his energy to throw, back in our day, 9 innings.
Mayberry was robbed of a hit his last time up. Esmiel Rogers up in the Yankee bullpen. That's with 5 hits in the inning. And Mayberry breaks his bat, shallow left. On comes Gardner and makes the sliding catch. 2 good catches in the outfield in that inning for Sabathia. But around those, the Mets put up a 4 spot, capped by Kevin Plawecki's first big league home run. That got out in a heartbeat. Mets put up 4 and lead at 5-1 in the 4th at Yankee Stadium. Well, yesterday Kevin Plawecki showed up at Yankee Stadium to see his nameplate on his locker misspelled. They got the spelling right today, and he is taking that to heart.
Playing like himself.
Exactly. First big league home run, first 2 RBIs, and now Matt Harvey with a 4-run lead. Mark Teixeira grounds one into the shift. Murphy is there to throw him out. 1 away. Well, to make things even better for Kevin Plawecki, it appears that a Met fan caught his home run ball. And it looks like an exchange is going to be arranged so he can get that ball back.
Well, that's fantastic, and fantastic by the Yankees staff there to escort him, and classy move. I like that. Good catch.
Here's Brian McCann. He takes inside. Let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, Gary, first home run always special, but maybe even a little more so for Plawecki today. Talking to him yesterday, you could sense a lot of nervous anticipation about playing on this stage. He was telling me that, you know, this is definitely the most people he's ever played in front of, and while he's trying to keep the game simple, no, it's just the same game, he said a little extra prayers before yesterday's game. So to do it in front of this crowd, very special moment for him.
Only took 24 hours. Prayers answered. 3-1 to McCann.
I mean, at some point, you're going to be in a rocking chair, and he's going to be in Indiana, and they're going to say, Grandpa, where'd you hit your first home run? Yankee Stadium, son.
Against a former
CC
Yes.
I mean, come on.
McCann out to Lagares. Can of corn. 2 out. Monday, get a complete recap of this weekend's Mets-Yankees series, plus all the latest on the Rangers and Islanders on Daily News Live, presented by Citi, Monday at 5, only on SNY. Islanders trying to keep their season alive today.
They're at the barn.
I believe they're 1-1 going to the third with the Caps.
Keith, who'd you hit your first home run off of?
Doug Rao in Dodger Stadium.
There you go.
High cheddar.
I think Plawecki's got you. It's Chris Young taking high. Your first home run?
Floyd Yeomans at the Big Shea.
You had a tater?
A couple.
So you hit a home run off the guy.
Send those guys back to the minors.
Floyd Yeomans, he was a good pitcher.
He threw hard. Got traded for Gary Carter.
That's right.
Yeomans threw hard.
Yes, he did.
Did you?
Farmhand.
Were your parents in Dodger Stadium when you hit it?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
My second year, I did it in 1975, I believe.
Yep. Young flies one out to left. Mayberry a long run and sliding, and he made the catch. Well, Mayberry took a while to get there, but makes a nice play to give Matt Harvey a 1-2-3 inning. Calling and sliding. Nicely done. The youngsters in full ground ball drill. That's nice form.
Good form. Nice form. Hardest thing is hitting the fly balls with a regular bat. No fungo.
Yeah. Pop-ups to the catcher. That's the hardest thing. Lucas Duda leads off the 5th inning. Mets with a 5-1 lead. Duda got the whole thing started with a home run in the 1st inning off CC Sabathia. Mets then sent 8 men to the plate in the 4th inning, scored 4 runs. And Sabathia is still out there chucking despite the fact the day has not gone his way. 5 runs and 7 hits over 4 innings. Our People's United Bank starting pitching comparison. Matt Harvey has had all the best of it. Only 1 strikeout for Matt, and so he's thrown only 45 pitches in 4 innings. Might be a day he can go deep into this game. 1-2 to Duda with Kadire and Murphy to follow. It was 2007 that CC Sabathia won the Cy Young Award with the Indians.
I know Terry Collins in his press conference before the game, he said 1997. And it seems like he's been pitching that well since 1997, but yeah.
Duda hits this one out to right center pretty deep. Young back onto the warning track there to make the catch. Just didn't quite get it all.
Well, there's a case where the breaking ball just got outside enough. Got it towards the end of the bat. That is a matter of an inch or 2, and it gets more of the barrel, and that's a tie.
Because he hit one already. Is that plural?
That's plural.
Just checking.
Tie. I was thinking that if you're a pitcher in Yankee Stadium, you'd have to do like those football neck exercises to make sure your neck is fine, because it's being yacked back and forth when that ball goes in the air to right field. You never know.
Michael Kadire got the 4-run inning started for the Mets in the 4th with a base hit to center field. Snapped an 0 for 15 stretch for him. But that was the catalyst for a big inning. Mets had 4 2-out hits in that 4th inning, including Plawecki's home run. Now Sabathia behind 2-0. Well, it was 07 that Karsten Charles Sabathia put together his Cy Young year with the Indians.
And his 08 year might have been even more impressive because he was traded. He went to Milwaukee and literally on his back carried that ball club by pitching on 3 days rest, 4 or 5 times down the stretch, pitching complete games.
Went 11-2, I think, for the Brewers after the trade, and almost single-handedly willed them into the postseason, much to the Mets' dismay. Full count to Kadire.
These pellets add up. You know, that's the only sad part for a great warrior like Sabathia.
34 years old now. Came up as a 20-year-old with the Indians. 3-2 to Kadire. Pulled down to third. Headley behind the bag. And the long throw right on target. 2 out. Nice play by the former Gold Glover.
Right on that line with the breaking pitch. Just a couple of crossovers and he's there.
Nice backhand plant.
You know, we have 2 former National League Gold Glove third basemen in the building today with Headley and David Wright. Third base in the National League, much like shortstop and center field, may be locked down for the next 10 years.
Arenado.
Because he is so much better than everybody else.
Yes, he is.
Nolan Arenado in Colorado. Did you see the play made last night?
He turned an out into a double play. I don't know how he did it still now. I
mean, he dove for the ball along the line, got up, wrong-footed the third base bag, and threw to first base for the double play. It was amazing.
I mean, you got Casey McGee, who doesn't have a lot of speed, but still, no way. And he did it.
Murphy's 0 for 2.
Might be the next Scott Rowland.
Well, Gary and I did the game in Colorado when we first with this Arenado kid. Let's take a look. He had a sparkling defensive series against the Mets. I mean, he made some terrific plays.
I mean, between Arenado, Simmons, and Lagares, you've got 3 guys in the National League right now who might be as good as anybody I've seen. I mean, takes in a lot of territory, but I mean, they are that good.
The game changers defensively. And how about across the Rockies infield with
LeMahieu,
Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Morneau plays tonight for a big man, plays a good first base.
Murphy floats one out to left center, and Ellsbury over to get it. So Sabathia bounces back with a 1-2-3 inning. Halfway through at Yankee Stadium, Mets up 5-1. Across from Yankee Stadium, everybody waiting. A couple of hot dog vendors. Not a whole lot happening right now. Be plenty of traffic out there after the game. Here's your fifth inning recap, brought to you by Dodge. Home runs by Lucas Duda and Kevin Plawecki. For Plawecki, his first major league home run. Matt Harvey's done the rest. Just 45 pitches over 4 innings. Only 1 strikeout today, and a 5-1 lead. Chase Headley leads off. First pitch swinging, flies it out to left center. John Mayberry there, and another quick out for Matt Harvey.
Yeah, they haven't changed too much, this Yankee team. They came out swinging, being very aggressive, and they continue to, even 4 runs down.
No strikeouts, only 1 strikeout in the day. He's not killing them, but he's overpowering them.
Here's Stephen Drew, and he takes a strike. Drew had the only well-struck hit against Harvey in this game, a long double off the fence in right center. Drew's already hit 4 home runs this year, and almost had another one, hit it 3/4 of the way up on the fence in front of the Yankee bullpen. And a strange last couple of years for Stephen Drew.
I think we're going to start seeing more and more of those.
It's the Dark Knight in evidence.
Now, are those being sold at Shea Stadium? Or are they getting them outside of the stadium?
I don't know that. I think people are bringing their own.
What, you want a piece?
Put a little number 17 in the corner. 1-2 to Drew, and he lifts one foul.
Well, when you watch Harvey's motion, it's pretty simple. For a big man, he has refined it to the point where the front leg will cross all the way over past his back leg, and that's how he kind of generates all that power.
It's a nice
wide wingspan, lands on not a stiff, a bent front leg.
Drew goes down on strikes, just the second of the day for Matt Harvey.
Boy, that was that hard slider.
That should always be a strikeout pitch for him. Tied him up.
So 2 out and nobody on. Harvey's now retired 6 in a row. The last 5 since being handed the big lead. Didi Gregorius, a bunt hit his first time up. Shouldn't have been a hit. Defensive mistake by Daniel Murphy that cost Harvey the only run he's given up.
Starting to throw a good little breaking ball now, Ronnie.
He's starting to turn it up a little more here. It's almost like he was content to throw strikes and hit his spots, and now he's content on trying to maybe embarrass a few hitters. Have you noticed though? I mean, a lot of breaking pitches, changeups and curveballs and sliders, as opposed to fastballs.
Do you think that it's a result of watching DeGrom start yesterday?
Big time.
Yes, no doubt.
On the inside corner with the fastball, 2-2.
Good pitch with some cheddar on it, a little extra cheese.
Even in our camera, you couldn't even see the ball. You saw the glove of Plawecki.
2-2 to Gregorius. Fly ball, right field. Granderson dealing with the sun and dealing well. 1-2-3 inning for Harvey. He's retired 7 in a row after 5-1 Mets. Dropping a 6-1 decision last night. Had their 11-game winning streak come to an end, trying to start a new one today. Eric Campbell's been up twice, was hit by a pitch and hit a long fly ball to left center that Ellsbury made a terrific catch on in the 4th. Sabathia gave up those 4 runs in the 4th inning, bounced back with a 1-2-3 5th. And much like DeGrom yesterday, just trying to get a little deeper into this game. DeGrom wound up going 5 after giving up 6 runs in the first 3 innings. Campbell smacks one to deep right field. Back goes Young, looking up at the wall. It's out of here! Eric Campbell with an opposite field home run. The Mets' 3rd home run of the afternoon, and they lead it 6-1. First home run of the year for Campbell, who hit 3 in his rookie season last year. And the Mets take advantage of the dimensions as Campbell hits one in the front row.
Well, Sabathia's been up with his pitches, and there's another fat one out over the plate, and the Mets answer with 3 home runs of their own. The Yankees, of course, had 3 last night.
I talked about it, that more right-handed hitters don't take advantage of this dimensions here. Campbell does. Another Mets fan with the catch.
If you're a natural, go the other way naturally, I think it's better for a right-hand hitter than a left-hand hitter. And here's the stroke. Right up at the plate. It's like hitting a golf ball. You put the golf ball between your legs and hit that pitch away. That's when you really drive it deep to the opposite field.
Lagares shoots one up the middle for his 3rd hit of the day. Takes the hard turn and holds up as Gardner gets it in. So Lagares, after taking it 0 for last night, has gone 3 for 3.
Surprised that here's the hit here. I'm surprised there comes Girardi, and he's got to give him the hook. There's the swing. Another fastball inside. He's lost his velocity, Ron. They're covering everything.
So that's going to be it for Sabathia. Esmil Rogers is going to come into the game. Sabathia sticks around for 5 innings plus, battered for 6 runs and 9 hits. Sabathia out, Rogers in. We'll be right back. Rough day at the office for CC Sabathia, out after 5 innings plus. And 29-year-old Esmil Rogers comes in to replace him. Faces Wilmer Flores with a runner at first and nobody out. And that one skips to the backstop, and that'll send Lagares down to second. So Rogers opens with a wild pitch.
That last little quick shot we had of Sabathia, and here's the wild pitch in the dugout. You have any kind of empathy. I know they're getting paid a lot of money and they're playing a game, but when you had a pitcher that was in the top of the pack and you start seeing them slide back, it's tough. It's a bitter pill for the athlete. I think it showed right there with his expression and demeanor in the dugout, sitting there.
It's lost, that happens. Rogers has been their long man all year long. He pitched in that 19-inning game. Gary said 4 2/3. his last outing, 2 1/3 against the Tampa Bay Rays.
It was 8 days ago, so not surprising he would bounce that first pitch. By the way, on Sabathia, you know, if he takes the loss today, he will have lost each of his first 4 starts. In the last 40 years, only one Yankee pitcher has lost his first 4 starts, and that was Kevin Brown in 2005.
Whoa.
So imagine that for this franchise that, you know, has had such a run of success. It's very unusual, and particularly for a guy with the credentials of a Sabathia. Flores pops one up. That's going to be a tough play. Drew and Teixeira. Drew with a beautiful catch. Tagging at second, Lagares. The long throw across.
Nice.
And Lagares just beats it. That's a terrific play by Stephen Drew and good base running by Lagares.
And that's just baseball instincts right there. Lagares tagging up. You're not getting this from Tuffle, your third base coach. You're watching the ball in the air. So he's not looking at Tuffle. You're watching the ball. You're making a read. That's just good instincts.
So you know it's going to be foul.
Yeah,
so
well done. Well done.
And once you know it's going to be fouled, there's no reason to do anything but tag.
Or if it's going to be caught.
Right.
the base running impeccable so far.
Infield comes in for Kevin Plawecki, who drilled his first big league home run his last time up. A 2-run shot. Chance to pick up another RBI with the infield in. And that one skips away from McCann. Here comes Lagares, and he scores. Second wild pitch by Rogers. 7-1 Mets.
Jesus.
So the base running by Lagares moving up to third winds up resulting in a run.
Another great read.
Well, it's nice to see the Mets just let that loss roll right off their back. They're playing good ball. Got a ways to go.
So now the base is empty with 1 out after Lagares' trip around. 2-0 now to Plawecki. So that run charged to Sabathia. The book now closed on him. 87 pitches, 5 innings plus, 7 runs, 9 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a hit batsman, and 3 home runs. Not a pleasant day.
The horses are already out of the barn.
Sabathia's ERA at the end of the day will be 5.96 through his first 4 starts, and more than likely 0-4 to go with that. 2-1 to Plawecki, and he pops this one up. Chris Young waiting for it to come down, and that's the second out. Now this was back in the 4th inning.
Fastball belt high. In. Not in enough. Rope.
Here's Granderson, who's 1 for 3. Got an infield hit his last time up when Sabathia couldn't get over to cover the bag in time, and Rogers misses with a slider, ball 1. Granderson over the last 5 games now 7 for 16. So the base hits are starting to come for Curtis, along with all those walks. Started the day with a .382 on base percentage out of that leadoff spot. John Mayberry would be next. That's with a couple of runs home here in the 6th to broaden their lead. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of the New York Mets. Enter promo code NYM for free entry and claim your share of $300 million this MLB season. Anderson bounces the curveball down to first. This time Teixeira will take it himself, and that retires the side. But Eric Campbell with an opposite field home run. The Mets score 2. Lead at 7-1 in the 6th. Sable list.
He did with his back.
They're banged up.
But Stanton looks like he's gotten a little warm now.
Yes. That was only a matter of time. By the way, it should be pretty warm in Miami for Strasburg this afternoon, right?
I'm really jealous, to tell you the truth. You guys are going down to Miami. I'm not going. I'd love to have that warm weather you're going to be experiencing.
Mets will have Dylan G Monday night. Rafael Montero comes up to make that start Tuesday night, and then Bartolo Colon Wednesday night in Miami. Third time through the batting order for Matt Harvey, who's allowed just 3 hits, walked 1 and struck out 2 through the first 5 innings, working with a big lead for the second straight start. And Jacoby Ellsbury takes a curveball for a strike. Now, Matt had a big lead in his last start against the Marlins, and then began to falter in the 6th and 7th inning.
Was that the game where he had the flu?
Yeah, he was not feeling well, and that certainly had to have an impact. And, you know, he has this ankle thing that I don't know if it's any issue at all, that only became an issue because the writers saw him leaving to go to the doctor the other day, that he's supposedly been dealing with for a month on his landing foot. Ellsbury fouls it off. In any event, this is certainly a part of the game to watch, just based on how that last start went. In the same kind of a situation, third time through the order.
Well, at his best, this game should be over, and he should just ride it out. At his best, because of the pitch count.
60th pitch of the day, misses inside to Ellsbury, 2-2.
Made him dance there a little bit.
You know, the only run of this game against Harvey never should have happened. Mistake on a bunt play led to a run. Full count to Ellsbury with Gardner and Rodriguez to follow. Matt Harvey is making his 40th career start today. In 20 of his first 39, he's allowed no runs or 1 run. Only one other pitcher in the last 100 years has had that kind of stretch to start his career, and his name was Dwight Gooden. Strike 3 called. Ellsbury caught looking on a fastball on the inside corner and goes away pouting. Third strikeout for Harvey.
Good pitch. Good movement. Hey, too close to take. That's nip in the black. It's a pitcher's pitch.
So now Brett Gardner, who's grounded out and walked, 0 for 1. Well, coming into the game, look at the strikeout to walk ratio for the 2 Mets at the top of the list. Colon 1 walk, 23 strikeouts. Harvey 1 walk, 24 strikeouts. Now it's 2 and 27 for Matt.
That's a mockery of the game.
It's not supposed to go that way, is it? Remember, I think it was 1994. Brett Saberhagen, well, it was a shortened season because of the strike, had an 11-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and that was a record.
Well, I saw the best I ever saw, but it was a reliever, so it was different. Was Eckersley used to routinely walk 3 or 4 and strike out 60. It's just by you.
Those strikeout walk numbers presented by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Enter promo code NYM for free entry. Strike 3 called. Again, he picked off the inside corner at 97 miles an hour. Harvey just getting warmed up. His 4th strikeout.
Starting to throw that fastball inside, Ron, and he's getting the movement where it seems like it's an optical illusion actually to the hitter. It's starting at your hip, and then it breaks over the inside corner a little bit,
and he's getting the call from the home plate umpire. You don't always get those calls. He's getting it today.
That's what Colon does, but about 10 miles an hour faster. Here's A-Rod with 2 out, and he grounds one right at Flores, and that is a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Matt Harvey, who's now set down 10 Yankees in a row after 6 7-1 Mets. is great indeed with some of the Yankee legends of the past, Maris and Berra and Mantle.
Concourses are so huge here.
Babe.
This is the baseball equivalent of the Louvre.
It's almost like a
without IM pay.
That's right.
It's almost like a mausoleum in here.
Esmil Rogers, who finished off the 6th, stays on for the 7th to face John Mayberry. He was a very tough 0 for 3 today. He had a rising liner to short that Gregorius made a leaping grab on, a sinking liner to left that Gardner made a sliding grab on. Ball and a strike to Mayberry with Duda and Kadire to follow.
Rogers has that real easy motion, like he's going to throw it easy to the plate, and at the very last second whips it up there.
So Keith, Ronnie asked you earlier who you hit your first home run against, and you said Doug Rao.
Yes.
Do you know that today is the 25th anniversary of your last home run?
I have no idea who that was off.
So against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, Mr. Stottlemyre.
Todd Stottlemyre.
I was lucky. I was so bad.
Mayberry strikes out.
Todd Stottlemyre threw hard.
Yeah, good slider too.
And I was so bad that when I hit the home run, I looked in because I knew he was going to throw me in, and I looked in, and I did not have a great swing. I just got the barrel through, and I just, when it went out, it wouldn't wait. I hit it was a bomb, and I was just stunned that I was just so bad. So, thanks, Garrett.
Quarter of a century ago.
I feel real good. I can't wait to get at this game over and go out into town
and celebrate a home run from 25 years ago.
Dude, it takes the strike. Any excuse.
That's right.
Oh gosh.
Where was that? Was that?
I think it was in Cleveland. I think
at the old ballpark.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
The mistake by the lake.
The guy with the tom toms, the big.
John Adams.
All game long.
They're all game long. Give you a headache.
And they'd had, 80,000 they could sit in there, and they'd have maybe 15.
It was like.
Well, they'd fill it for Browns game.
Yeah, of course.
Well, when I was there, they were drawing like 5,000. It was like candlestick. It was terrible.
Oh, man.
This terrible stadium. Well, you know what Oil Can Boyd said, right? He said it gets really cold in that stadium. That's what happens when you build a ballpark next to the ocean.
Oil Can.
Oil Can didn't have a great sense of geography,
yes.
Oh,
but you understood the concept.
The oil cans were the problem for the Oil Can.
My first ball game with Cleveland, which would be my first major league game, opening day in Cleveland, was against the Yankees
in 1990.
Yes, and the weather was so bad, intermittent snow and rain and sleet, that I've never in my life. They wanted to play the game because it was full. There was no introductions of the players.
Really?
None. And we played 3 innings, and then the snow came, and that was it. It was snowed out.
So they had to give back the money anyway.
And I got a base hit RBI too.
Wiped out.
Things weren't going my way. I knew it. It was bad karma.
Strike 3 called. Duda's caught looking. Second strikeout in a row for Esmil Rogers.
I think Righetti pitched that game, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure.
Rags, Ragu. Nice.
2 out and nobody on for Michael Kadire. 1 for 3. I've gotten an update on that 25-year-old story. Turns out that last home run was at Skydome in Toronto.
It was. Okay. See, it's amazing how your memory. I try to forget Cleveland. Not, the town was fine. That just by performance.
Toronto's a nice town. I'm sure you had a good time there.
Well, they close up at midnight. I couldn't believe it. I come after a game and you want to. You're downtown Toronto and nothing's open. I'm going, what is going on here?
I think they've liberalized over the last quarter century. We're going to be in Toronto later this season.
That's right.
For a couple of days.
Yes, we are. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to Toronto since then. Ronnie, you've had the Toronto games.
I did.
1-2 to Kadire.
They hit a lot of home runs. I know that. You're going to have to keep them in the ballpark. Going to beat them.
Very interesting if the Mets face R.A. Dickey in that series. Things have not gone nearly
took
as
the
well.
loss yesterday, right?
Things haven't gone nearly as well for RA since becoming a Blue Jay. And Kadire chases one for strike 3, so Esmail Rogers strikes out the side in the top of the 7th. Stretch time in the Bronx. Mets leading at 7-1. About the Mayor's Trophy game, which was the only time the Mets and Yankees played before interleague play began back in 1997. Mayor Lindsay sitting in the stands. The voice of Bob Murphy, of course. Eddie Kranepool getting the hit. My favorite part of the whole thing, the fake bat crack.
Yeah, that's right. I remember we played a Mayor's Trophy game in the old stadium, and Dave LaPointe was pitching for the New York Yankees. And Darryl Strawberry, they used to be that runway in right center. Right. He hit it almost out of the ballpark in right center, cold day. And it was one of those games that Mr. Steinbrenner, after a while, just did not really want to play anymore.
Well, back in the early days, both teams took it very seriously. Yeah. Back in the 60s, the Yankees didn't want to get embarrassed by the upstart Mets, and the Mets felt as though they had something to prove. Casey Stengel, who'd been fired by the Yankees, was the Mets manager, and so there was a lot on the line, even though it was an exhibition game. By the time you guys came around, it was kind of a, it was not a very important thing.
Right, and the Yankees were in a kind of a no-win situation there when they were playing the little mutsies back then.
It
right?
was, but by our time, they had the offense. I mean, you had to face Winfield, you had to face Mattingly. They had a lot of good offense. Their pitching was never equal to that offense.
Well, tomorrow night we will be elsewhere. Our friends at ESPN will have the telecast for you tomorrow night. Jonathan Neese against Nate Eovaldi in what might well be the rubber game of this series. John Neese with a 1.5 ERA through his first 3 starts, coming off by far his best outing of the year. And he's still around today.
Yeah, he stayed on the bench today. Very good for him.
Took an early vacation last night when he got ejected by the home plate umpire Doug Eddings. You ever get ejected from a game you weren't playing in?
I've never got ejected from a game, ever.
I can believe that. Yeah, you're a very mild man.
Such an even-tempered man.
Yes.
Obviously, you don't know. Live with me. No, I mean, on the day you pitch, I mean, you would never really get ejected. And on the bench, I mean, you definitely hoot and holler at the umpire, but try not to go too far.
Harvey behind on Teixeira, 3-0.
It's a big inning here. Get through this middle of the lineup.
Well, he had a big one last inning too, the top of the order. So you plow through the meat of the order here. This is a biggie right here.
Well, let me ask you from a long-term standpoint about the short-term tenure of Harvey in this game. Brian McCann on deck. 3-1 to Teixeira, and he socks one to deep right field, and that one is long gone. Teixeira's third home run of the series, his 8th of the year. And now it's 7-2 Mets.
8 home runs in the month of April.
Just one behind Nelson Cruz for the Major League lead. He hasn't hit for much of an average, but Teixeira hit that one out of sight.
Well,
side swing. You see the big uppercut. He's just turned into a home run hitter and a pull hitter here at Yankee Stadium. And we'll take a look at the location. Fastball right down Broadway.
And to all you folks that don't believe pitchers pitch to the score, please watch that again.
So you're saying
you challenge him.
One-run game. He pitches him differently.
You don't want to give him a home run, but you challenge him.
McCann lifts one to right center, and Lagares has it lined up. 1 out. So I was going to ask you about Harvey. Right before that home run. Here you've got it's not an enormous lead, but it's a comfortable lead. You're in a situation with Matt Harvey where you're going to try and limit his innings this year, but his pitch count is low. So how do you balance all that and decide how long he goes in this game?
If he doesn't have too tough of an inning, let's say he's had an inning like he had before, I might let him try to get through 8. The only reason he's got an extra day this time coming up, I believe.
Yeah, because of Montero getting a spot start.
But this is how I feel about it, is if you think you have a championship team, and the Mets certainly do, at some point the pellets are going to add up, the pitch is going to add up, and you're going to look in September and go, boy, we went over the innings limit. So why not let him get through 7 here and take it to the house?
Chris Young gets stood up. But is innings the best measure of how much work he's going to do this year? In other words, if he has low pitch counts, is it the number of pitches? Is it the number of innings? What's the most important measure of how much work he's done? Plawecki with a slide but can't get to it.
This is the least amount of work he's had to do in any of his starts. So that being said, I think even more importantly than that, Gary, is that, okay, sigh of relief. This was an easy game for him. Really no pressure on how he threw the baseball. So in some ways, you know, you get him that extra day. I figured out in his 18 first half starts, he's going to have 7 or 8 times that he's going to go to the mound with more than 4 days rest, 5 days rest.
Ugly cut by Young, and he's down on strikes. That's 5 for Harvey.
So they're doing their part there. But you want to get to the point where the innings won't be remembered in September. Good changeup. Innings won't be remembered in September, or someone will go, boy, you know, he threw 180 innings. He's done.
Right.
Innings now. So save him now. And if you can save, 20 innings over the course of a year, now you're talking about a guy who can pitch in the postseason.
Of course, you know, what we're talking about in terms of limiting his workload this season is more art than science.
Yes,
nobody knows exactly what the right number is of pitches, of innings, of pitches under duress.
The issue you're going to have is with Harvey not taking him out in a game he's winning 7-2. It's when it's 2-2 and you want to take him out. Then there's going to be a little bit of an issue.
At 80 pitches now with 2 out in the 7th, facing Chase Headley, who swings and misses, and that's 6 strikeouts for Harvey. So after giving up the home run to Teixeira, Harvey buckles down, gets the next 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Through 7 relatively easy innings. He's got a 5-run lead as the Mets cut it down to the 8th. and there's nobody throwing in the Mets bullpen, so it looks like he'll get the 8th. Daniel Murphy leads off the top of the 8th against Esmil Rogers, who's retired 6 in a row, and Murphy takes outside ball 1. Murphy 0 for 3 today, 0 for 7 in this series, and he has struggled in the field the last few days. Here's a strike, 1-1. Garrett Jones comes in the game to play right field. Chris Young moves to center. Jacoby Ellsbury comes out. Do you think that Murphy has anything to worry about with Dilson Herrera having gotten off to a great start in Las Vegas?
Well, he's wearing it out, Gary, and it's the nature of the beast. There was every year I played, and Ronnie, there was always someone down there nipping at your heels,
knocking on the door.
Yes, you have to, the all comers. But Herrera, I loved last year at 20 years of age. He got sent down early, did not have a good spring training. Didn't bother me one bit. The kid can play, he can hit, and he's wearing out AAA.
His last 10 games, he has 9 multi-hit games. That's how hot he is right now. And you have to discount a little bit in Las Vegas because it's a great hitter's environment. But off what we've seen and how highly the Mets think of him, it's a difficult equation because, Murph at this point in his career is a veteran player. He's making $8 million a year this year, and he's always hit.
I mean, Terry Collins said that at the end of the year, you're going to see Daniel Murphy's going to have another 185 hits, but every single day that goes by, boy, he's going to have to play catch up.
And I guess the other piece that I'd throw out there is the Mets' patience level going to be different this year because the expectations are higher? In other words, if this were 2 years ago when the Mets weren't really expected to contend and a veteran player gets off to a slow start and you got a younger guy who's tearing it up in AAA, would you wait longer then than you might now?
I think Sandy has retooled and rebuilt this team with a strong minor league system. You don't build up a strong minor league system just to say, hey, we got a strong minor league system. You've got young players down there that can play there, that when they get seasoned enough, you bring them up. So my feeling is if he's ready to play, they're going to get him up eventually. Now, what Murph has to do, I'm not worried about Murph's hitting. Murph's going to hit.
Rogers makes the play for the first down.
He's off to a terrible start. He's going to hit when it's all over with. He's a hitter, but he can't go out there and play the way he's been playing in the field. That is going to make a general manager and a manager entertain the idea that maybe we make a move here and give the kid a chance if he continues to hit. And now you don't have to make the decision right now. And what's going on right now with the team winning, it's not like the team's in a slump. When the team's winning, you can be more patient.
When you are with a team that's taking gas, that you know at the very best is going to aspire to be a 500 club, you can live with some errors of judgment and play in the field.
Campbell drives one toward the gap, overcomes Gardner to get it, 2 out.
If you're telling me that you're all pulling on the same rope, and that rope is supposed to lead to a championship season, then miscues, errors, and bad. Now I'm not talking about physical errors. Miscues and bad plays shine brightly, and it makes you question what you're doing. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the next level, or do you want to stay at the same level? And that's the question that needs to be asked.
Well, and so far the Mets have been, for the most part, able to overcome Murphy's difficulties. But you get in a pennant race, tight game, late game, it concerns you.
Well, I think when we were talking earlier, the sports is a meritocracy. The best men are going to be out there playing. And what I saw, let's just go back to what we saw last year from Herrera, a 20-year-old kid. He performed real well. He hit well. And he impressed me in the field. He's very competent in the field. He stays in and turns a nice double play. He's not going to hurt you in the field. I mean, he's a well-rounded player. And the fact that he's 20 years old and he's got this future ahead of him, You know, if they do it, Murph's going to play somewhere. There's 30 teams. You know, it's not the end of the world.
Or if he doesn't hang his head, we've talked 1,000 times about the Mets could use a little depth on their bench, and Murph would be a great left-handed bat that would help the bench if he wasn't the everyday player.
3-2 to Lagares, who's 3 for 3 on the day. Rogers retired 8 in a row in relief. Lagares with 2 singles and a triple today. He's driven in a run, scored 2. Trying for his second career 4-hit game. And he's got it. Juan Lagares 4 for 4. Mets have a 2-out base runner. Let's check in with Gary Apple in the studio for another game break brought to you by Ford. Thanks, Gary. Tom Kohler coming off that bad start against the Mets, working a shutout today for the Marlins.
Where is that game?
In Miami.
Kohler pitches better at home. Mets roughed him up last year, and this year, home. He's pitched well against the Mets at home.
There's Flores with 2 out and a runner on. Golfs 1 foul.
So the Mets hang on here. They're going to put Washington 7 games back. That's significant, Ron.
Despite being able.
Yes. It's get them as far out of that rearview mirror as you can, as fast as you can.
Well, the Mets have 4 games with the Nats coming up at home starting on Thursday night. It'll be another chance for them to do some damage. Beat the Nats 2 out of 3 to open the season in Washington. Flores golfs one down the right field line. Over comes Jones. That's going to fall foul. So it's 0-2 to Flores. Lagares, by the way, with his 4 for 4 days. You look at the replay. And you see it went foul by a foot or 2.
Where's his average now?
296.
Oh, wow.
Think about the way he started.
Well, early in the season, a lot of fluctuations. One big day, a couple big days, and your average rises, and vice versa. A couple bad days, it sinks.
Very much
your
like
average
the ERA.
Your average doesn't really stabilize till you get around 300 at bats. Then it's about where you're going to wind up. You know, give or take 10 points either way, or unless you get really slump or you really go into a hot streak.
So July 1st about, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't bother calculating your batting average on your way to first base like Pete Rose did?
No, but Pete Rose gave me a great advice, and I've said it before, and it's worth repeating.
There goes Lagares. Flores shoots one into right field for a base hit. Lagares didn't realize it. Now he'll continue on to third. Jones's throw across the diamond not in time. So Flores with a 2-strike hit, his second hit of the day. And the Mets have first and third and 2 out.
Well, again, the Mets 2-strike hitting. A little slap there to right field. That's what Flores does. And Lagares doesn't pick the ball up. He's running. 0-2 count. Where is it? When in doubt, pick up your third base coach. That's what he's there for.
So the Mets now with 11 hits on the afternoon. A couple of 2-out hits after Rogers had retired 8 in a row. And now Kevin Plawecki, who's already had a major milestone today, his first big league home run and his first 2 RBIs. Chase Headley trying to chase the birds away from third base.
The pigeon down there.
There's a pigeon on the infield between home and third.
He's taking his life in his or her own hands.
Trying to get an autograph from Lagares. Neon strike to Plawecki, nothing in one.
Randy Johnson or Winfield aren't in the house, are they?
There we go.
Both have done
foul territory.
Both of those guys have done damage against birds in the past.
Only 9 people out there in the field.
Bird's not a person. Doesn't have a glove.
If you're a Buddhist, maybe.
There you go. That's where you belong. With your honey. Go.
Traveling in pairs. Birds of a feather. Line drive, base hit, Plawecki, bringing his third run of the day. Booted out in center field, but Young gets it back in. RBI single for Plawecki, and the Mets now lead it 8-2. 3 straight 2-out hits. And Plawecki with his first 3 big league RBIs today.
Very nice, and going the other way. Hanging slider right down the pipe, and elects to go up the middle with it. And the Mets have 3 home runs today, and they've been for the runs, but they've scored 4 more runs with just playing good old-fashioned line drive, hard-hitting baseball.
Chris Martin up at the Yankee bullpen. That's with a season-high 8 runs, and they've matched their season high with 12 hits. Now it's Granderson, who's 1 for 4 on the day.
A hustling 1 for 4.
Sunday on Jets Nation, a wide receiver or an elite pass rusher? How will the Jets use their 6th pick? Get an in-depth preview of next week's draft. Plus, the crew breaks down the Jets' 2015 schedule on an all-new Jets Nation Sunday at 7, only on SNY.
No interest in a quarterback? You agree?
Look at Gino. Come on.
Jeez.
Really?
Teixeira with the easy play. That retires the side, but the Mets bunch 3 hits to add a run. Season high 8 runs to benefit Matt Harvey. And there's Stans. Let's stop on in after the game. 8-2 Mets in the 8th. The 8th, and we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, guys, Wilmer Flores with another hit in the top half of that inning, and you guys have been talking a lot about Flores all day, how impressed you've been with his progression. Ron, you called him California smooth, and that is spot on. Nothing really seems to faze this guy. We were speaking in spring training about all the criticism he faced this offseason, people saying he's not a major league shortstop. I asked Wilmer if it was hard for him to deal with, and he said, nah. He goes, that's not hard. You know what's hard? My first year of pro baseball. I'm a 16-year-old kid from Venezuela playing in Kingsport, Tennessee. I don't speak the language. I don't have any family. I'm all alone. I don't have any of the food that I'm used to. He said I had a lot of tough times that first year. But when you want something bad enough, you go through things like that and you persevere. He said this is easy. I'm just playing baseball. I know how to do that.
Well, that is a really outstanding way of looking at things.
Yes.
And it makes you, understand a little bit better what a lot of these Latino players go through. They're very young, away from home, don't necessarily have language skills.
Well, we try to understand. I don't think we understand at all what they go through. Well, some of the towns they have to go through, smallish kind of towns, smallish kind of thoughts.
Little looper right at Flores, and Drew is retired for the first out.
Well, I think any time, and Ronnie, you're probably the same. When you go, same thing. I got drafted out of high school. I'm 18 years old. It's the first time away from mom and dad. That was a little daunting.
Yeah,
at least you're on your own.
At least you spoke English.
I understand, so it's more difficult, but I'm saying for everybody. I mean, I remember flying into Florida and seeing a whole different landscape than Northern California, and I thought I was in a foreign country. And then your first day, you step out there, there's 600 kids out there from all different parts of the world, and you're going, I'm just one of the 600. How in the heck am I going to get to the big leagues?
Yeah, right. I mean.
0-2 to Gregorius. Garrett Jones getting ready for his first at bat on deck. Harvey throwing all strikes here in the 8th inning. There's his first ball.
He's been throwing strikes the whole night, Garrett. Afternoon, excuse me. Only one walk issued.
That's why he's at 87 pitches with 1 out in the 8th. Gregorius 1 for 2 at a bunt hit in the 3rd. One of only 4 hits for the Yankees today. And he slaps that one to left. Over toward the line comes Mayberry to get it. 2 out. And Gregorius makes the 2nd out of the inning. It is truly odd to be watching a Subway Series where Derek Jeter is not at all a factor. The game changer brought to you by T-Mobile. That's what Jeter did, and he did a lot of that damage in the interleague games against the Mets.
Yeah, he did.
I believe he and Rico Carty battled it out for the highest batting average ever against the Mets.
I mean, when you look at his numbers in the postseason, I always marvel because he played in 158 postseason games. That's a full season, just about. And his numbers are tremendous at the hardest time it is to hit in the post. And that jersey will be up with all the other greats.
Without the name on it.
Yeah.
Fly ball into left, off the bat of Garrett Jones. And Matt Harvey, with just 90 pitches, works his way through 8 terrific innings. We go to the 9th, 8-2. Like Alfredo Simon now 4-0 for the Tigers as they beat the Indians 4-1. Jose Altuve with a home run. Houston up 8-3 on Oakland in the 8th. And Giancarlo Stanton hitting and Tom Kohler pitching. And the Marlins up 4-0 on the Nats. That game goes to the bottom of the 8th in Miami. Well, some have other plans with the Mets up 8-2 going to the ninth.
Getting on that 4 train downtown, or maybe uptown for some.
Another way it gets lost because it was so late on a Friday night as Chris Martin comes in to pitch for the Yankees, but lost in our around the majors last night. King Felix, his first complete game and first shutout since 2012.
Gem.
As he blanked the Twins. No walks, 9 strikeouts.
Philip Hughes pitched really well for the Minnesota Twins also.
Mayberry a tough 0 for 4 today and takes a strike from Martin, who pitched a little bit in Colorado last year.
One of those rare things that you can only really see in the American League. Both pitchers with a complete game.
2 hours and 3 minutes, by the way.
Perfect.
Oh.
Felix 3-0, 1.61 to start his year. The problem for Seattle is nobody else is pitching well for them. I think Iwakuma just went on the disabled list.
Their rest of their rotation is 3-5 with a 6 something. So they've been struggling that way. Nelson Cruz not struggling in that ballpark. I mean, he is hitting bombs out of there.
Yes, he is.
And Seattle's 7-9 on the year, and Felix is 3-0. Give you an idea. Mayberry, Duda, and Kadire in the top of the ninth. Mets have already set a season high with 8 runs and tied a season high with 12 hits. Esmil Rogers soaked up 3 innings in relief, allowed a run on 3 hits. And now Chris Martin trying to finish things up for the Yankees.
As you say, Keith, what's your phrase? A tall drink of water.
Yes,
got here with Mr. Martin.
They've got a bunch of those on this pitching staff. Is that 5 pitchers they've got 6'7" or taller?
Yeah.
Martin stands 6'8" from Arlington, Texas.
That's where Dylan's from, right? Or is he from Fort Worth?
He's yeah, I think he's from.
And he went to University of Texas Arlington.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's, the town is not too far away from there, though, that Dylan G is from.
Claiborne or something like that.
Claiborne, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good day to be on the bench. You got an 8-2 lead. Things are going your way.
Is Matt going out there for the ninth? There's nobody throwing in the bullpen. Looks like he's going to have a chance to go 9. Nobody thought that would happen this entire season, given the innings limits that they're considering for Harvey. As Mayberry goes around strike 3, second time he's been struck out today. 1 down to the top of the ninth. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by State Farm. Today's State Farm agent of the game is John Garfinkel of Brooklyn. Contact John at johngarfinkel.com. And by H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City, Long Island's premier bridal jewelry destination.
Well, Harvey can't go the 9th. I've already put in the numbers.
I've got some whiteout right here.
Okay.
If you need it. Duda got the Mets started today with a first inning home run off CC Sabathia, one of 3 the Mets hit against Sabathia today.
Well, Duda off to a terrific start. Also off to a terrific start against left-hand pitching. That was the big question coming in. He silenced his critics.
I still go back to spring training when he had just come off. He had a little bit of a, what did he had, a side, a little oblique thing that kept him out for a few days. And he came back. He's working on his stroke, and he went up to Terry Collins. And they were going to Lakeland to face the Detroit Tigers. And he said, I want to go. If I'm going to face left-handed pitching, I might as well face the best. David Price was pitching that day. He went up there and got a couple knocks. There, not many hitters do that.
Well, his commitment to improving has been tremendous over the last several seasons. And last year he got the payoff with the 30 home runs, but he wasn't satisfied. He felt he could hit for a higher average. And so far this year, that is coming to pass.
He might hit less than 30 and be a better hitter this year, more productive. 12 hits, you said, Gary. Half of those 2 strike hits for the Mets this afternoon.
And Martin misses with a fastball, 1-2. Well, there have only been a handful of complete games in the major leagues this year. You mentioned there were 2 in 1 game last night in that Seattle Minnesota game. But I have to say I'm a little surprised that Harvey's going to get the 9th.
I am too, because we talked in spring, Ron and Garrett, that big blowout games, time to sit him down, and take him out early.
Has thrown only 1 complete game in his career. That was a shutout against Colorado in 2013.
Lucas has such a good eye at the plate, and he's getting better and better because he's more relaxed. He's not fishing at bad pitches like he used to in the dirt.
It wasn't a long time ago that we said, boy, if this kid ever gets confidence, he's going to take off. Well, capital C now.
29 years old, right in his prime. 3-2 for Martin. And Duda flies one to left. Gardner toward the corner, onto the warning track, and gets there right in front of the fence. 2 out. It's the best online source for Mets information with a constant flow of Mets news and opinion, featuring game breakdowns, special features, and player profiles. Mets blog presented by Citi, part of the SNY.TV blog network. Beautiful day, a lot warmer than it was last night. Temperature right around 60 degrees, and the Mets having themselves a day. Michael Kadire 1 for 4. Got the 4-run rally started in the 4th inning when the game was tied. Browns 1 for Gregorius, and right under his glove. Well, Didi Gregorius has shown off his athleticism and his defensive ability, but this is the kind of thing that has plagued the Yankees early in the season.
He didn't have to do this. He could have broke down and got in front of this baseball. He tried to make it kind of fancy.
This is not sound fundies. You got a guy that's not a speed burner by any stretch of the imagination. There's no reason to come in running and fielding that ball one-handed. Field it like what Flores would have been right in front with 2 hands, make the routine play.
3rd error of the year for Gregorius, so that gets Murphy another turn at bat. Daniel 0 for 4 today and 0 for 8 in this series. Teixeira will play behind Kadire at first base with the Mets up by 6, and Murphy slashes 1 foul. In the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Gardner, Rodriguez, and Teixeira. So if Harvey's going to get the complete game, he's going to have to do it the hard way.
Murph, it really needs a base knock here. Really struggling.
Now behind in the count, 0-2. Looks a lot younger today than he did after shaving.
It's going to be interesting to see if the guys can keep their beards as the summer comes and it's hot.
Does it make a difference if you're playing every day? Like, would Neuenhuis have a better chance of keeping the beard if he's only playing once in a while?
I would think so, but boy, still, he's going to be out there doing his work in the middle of the afternoon, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock when they have that early hitting. I can't even fathom being around with that kind of beard.
And did he go? He did not. 2-2. Is Bobby Parnell still sporting that beard down in Florida where it's blazing hot?
Well, with the last injury, I'd shave that thing off, to tell you the truth. And I say that I'm not a person who could even come close to growing a beard.
Parnell, tightness in his forearm. He's been shut down for a week, but that's certainly a cautionary note for Bobby. 2-2 coming, and Murphy cranks one to deep right field, right down the line. That ball is foul.
No, can't catch a break. Murph didn't even run. He knew it was foul. He knew it was hooking. He didn't leave the box.
And he was correct. About 5 seats foul. Is that an official measurement?
I don't know if that's official. We have to get the exact width of the seats.
Another chance for Gregorius. This one he handles cleanly, and that retires the side. Matt Harvey looking for his second career complete game. Will take the mound for the bottom of the ninth, up 8-2. With Dylan G on the mound. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock Monday night. Mets and Marlins right here on SNY. Well, the last complete game for a Met was Zach Wheeler last June. That was the 1-0 game he won in Miami. And Matt Harvey bids for his second career complete game. He pitched a complete game shutout against the Rockies back in August of 2013. Coming up tonight on Geico Sports Night, tonight after the post game. Subway Series, NHL, NBA, it'll all be there. Geico Sports Night tonight.
Islanders won 3-1, right?
Forced to game 7. Brett Gardner leads off in the last of the ninth. And Harvey starts him off with a fastball away. Gardner 0 for 2 and a walk today. Harvey has walked only 1, struck out 6, allowed 2 runs and 4 hits. And of course, Geico Sports Night starts at 10:30 tonight. It's not a night game. We have other stuff to do.
Thanks for clarifying that, Garrett.
The Torai are up in the bullpen.
How about Garrett? Thanks. I would have missed it.
Skipping away from Plawecki, 2-1. So how much rope does he get in this ninth inning? 1 base runner?
Well, that's the reason that I didn't want him to start tonight. It's real nice that your Dark Knight's going to get or go for the complete game, but I don't know. I just don't want the relief pitchers to have to start in the middle of the inning with a couple people on. But knowing Harvey, they'll probably breeze through this ninth and wrap it up, put it in the books, whatever other phrase you want to use.
2-2 to Gardner with A-Rod on deck. Complete games are a disappearing art form. Used to be half the games that were started were completed back in the 70s. Now it's 1 in 18.
97-mile-an-hour pitch there to Gardner here in the ninth.
2-2. Lifted to left. Mayberry sidles over. 1 out. Well, I have to say, the Met fans who made their way to Yankee Stadium today were very appreciative when Harvey took the mound for this ninth inning.
Yeah,
got a very nice hand. Fans love to see complete games. Look at that. Bartolo Colon won his first 4. Harvey trying to win his first 4. By the way, Harvey also won his first 4 starts in 2013. There's only one Met pitcher who's ever had 2 seasons where he won his first 4 starts, and that's Jerry Koosman, who did it in 1968 and in 1973. A-Rod takes it wide for ball 1. A-Rod struck out, grounded out twice, 0 for 3. Mets have gone 106 games since their last complete game. Wheeler last June.
I will have to say, from a guy who spent his life on the mound, one of the greatest things, fastball by A-Rod here, one of the greatest things in the world is shaking hands after a complete game.
Yep.
You just feel like you did your job to the ultimate, and you're part of the team. Because most of the time, you're coming off the bench and shaking hands. This is, you are on the field as long as every other player's been on the field.
Used to be that was the expectation. Now it's the exception. 2-1 to Rodriguez. Fouled away. 2-2.
He's not getting around. It's a 99, high 90s fastball. Excuse me. He threw some gas there up and in. You know, it was fun too, Gary. I'm sorry, Ron. When a complete game, it was fun for us as a player to play behind you, to come to the mound and say, "Great job, really nice."
2-2 on the way. Struck him out. Harvey strikes out A-Rod for the second time, his 7th strikeout of the day.
Other than the first pitch slider, everything fastballs as he challenged number 13.
Upstairs. Didn't get there.
And so the Yankees are down to their final out.
Blew it by him.
Mark Teixeira, the batter, and he swings and grounds one through the shift for a base hit. 3rd hit of the game for Teixeira. He has 3 of the 5 base hits against Harvey, and that keeps the game alive for Brian McCann.
Teixeira was watching that at bat against A-Rod. He knew that Harvey was pumped up. He was swinging no matter what at a fastball, and he got it.
Good effort by Murph.
Murphy to his left, Campbell to his right.
Now it's McCann, who's 0 for 3 today. Flied to center his last 2 at bats, and takes the curveball inside, ball 1. 104 pitches now for Harvey, who threw 84 in his last start against the Marlins. And as Ronnie noted, will get an extra day before he faces the Nationals next Friday. 2-0 to McCann. Have to figure if he doesn't get McCann out, he might be taken out. Don't want to push him past 110, I don't think.
I had him taken out about 12 minutes ago.
Terry Collins checking out his lineup card. He's got his Torres ready. 2-0 to McCann, and it's too high, ball 3.
It's almost like Teixeira rained on his complete game parade with that first pitch, fastball, hitting hit.
Chris Young would be next. 3-0 to McCann. And ball 4. And Harvey kicks in disgust, and that's going to be the end of his day. So he couldn't quite finish it. A 2-out hit by Teixeira, a walk to McCann, and Terry Collins on his way to the mound. At 107 pitches, they will not push Matt Harvey any further, I don't think. And Terry is going to explain his rationale to Harvey, who leaves reluctantly.
He did what he had to do.
First start ever at Yankee Stadium, a very successful one for Matt Harvey. He exits 1 out shy of a complete game. We'll be right back. inning, but couldn't quite finish today at 107 pitches. But he'll settle for a well-earned victory if Carlos Torres can get him one more out.
Are you sure he will settle for that? He looked like he was trying to get Terry Collins to give him one more batter, but it's not to be, and Carlos Torres is in the game to try to get the last out.
Chris Young, the batter, 2 out and 2 on. Mets with a 6-run lead in the bottom of the 9th, and Young fouls off the first pitch fastball. Chris Young 0 for 3 today. Closest he came to a hit was a fly ball down the left field line that John Mayberry made a nice sliding catch on after a long run. Teixeira with a 2-out single. McCann with a walk to prevent Harvey from going 9. They'll settle for 8 2/3, 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And Young waves futilely at the cutter, and it's 0-2.
The ball working away from Young. Good pitch by Torres. When he was at his best last year, that's how he spotted that cutting fastball.
A lot of Met fans in the Bronx rooting for the final strike. Flores in front of the ground ball, goes the short way to Murphy, and he stayed on the bag long enough, and the ball game is over. Matt Harvey, 4 wins and 4 starts to start his season as he goes 8 2/3 for the victory. The Mets hit 3 home runs off CC Sabathia, but the game is not officially over because we're waiting to see if Joe Girardi is going to challenge the call. And he's going to challenge the call, so the ball game is not yet over. Well, we will go to the headset.
Well, Murph kind of tripped over the bag, so it did not look pretty. I thought he scraped his foot around across the bag long enough, but it was ugly.
He got it.
He's there.
Let's watch it again.
He's on it.
Yeah, his foot on the bag there.
Yep.
But it looked ugly.
It was strange looking. I thought Flores was going to throw the ball to first, and I think maybe Murphy thought that too. Maybe that's why he wasn't in perfect position.
It was almost like Murph was trying to hold the dismount at some point.
So we need to wait for replay confirmation that the Mets have themselves a victory this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
He came back on the bag anyway.
Game over.
Yeah. So he was on the bag, and he came back for a second crack at it.
And someone thinks that this is good for baseball.
Well, it's a no-lose for Girardi. He's got nothing to lose.
No,
Game's over.
I'm not blaming Joe Girardi. I'm just telling you how the ugliness factor of all of this.
And the Mets win is confirmed. The play under review was brought to you by Mazda, and the Mets thus have evened up the series at a game apiece, and now they're entitled to shake hands. A 4-hit game for Juan Lagares. Mets hit 3 home runs, including the first of Kevin Plawecki's career. And the Mets have themselves an 8-2 victory, setting up the rubber game of this series tomorrow night.
Well, did everything right, and the 3 home runs, and they drove in 4 other runs with base hits.